You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. You know why you're here, don't you? The dead girl. And this. What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that this time? It's a rhetorical question. You're going to a town called August. Find Chief DuPont. He's gonna think you're someone else. This person. This is who you are now. Understood? Splendid. If someone so much as sniffs that you're different, you'll be deprecated. Deprecated. We expect you to use your ability. Just don't get caught. And never, ever change into a child.
In brighter news, August resident Mia French is celebrating the return of her missing pooch, Barley. The 8-month-old Basset Hound puppy was found outside Daryl's Chicken and Ribs.
And that's 5 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
I'm Violet. Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules. In particular, no shoes in the guest house. The carpets are priceless. Now, how long are you staying for? Yes, the chief said it may be a while. I can see you don't mind getting your hands dirty, though. There's not been many visitors of late. Perhaps the murder will bring some tourists in. It's just you and some tarot readers at the moment. It's deathly quiet. Yes, the murder. You haven't spoken to the chief yet, have you? Chief DuPont. He's the one who booked the room for you. You look lost. You should probably go and speak to the chief. Your room is just down the hall, last on the left. It has its own back door. The chief said that's the way you'd like it.
Just finishing. You don't believe? That's okay. Sometimes life is just a stream of coincidences. Hi, I'm Bronwyn. Pleased to meet you, Sam. If you'd like a reading. That sounds super. I'm in room 1 and that's down the hall. Lorraine's in 2, Lexi's in 3. Which room are you in, Sam? Good. We're neighbours. Just knock if you need me.
Ivan was woken by the crowing of his cat. This was nothing new. He opened his eyes to find Uni standing on his chest, her mottled face inches from his, her demanding purr drilling into his ribcage through her paws. He lifted a numb hand and rubbed her cheek. "Sleep," he whispered. It was a...
Good, you got my message. Chief Inspector DuPont. I wasn't sure you'd come, but I suppose you're between jobs? Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam, that's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw, 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled. I know who did it, but I need proof. It's the tarot readers. Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up. It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs. To be honest, I thought she'd probably been smoking something, and that's why I didn't take it seriously. Because things, I don't have enough on her, that's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it? Okay. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them. You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out, I'll help you. Do I have to spell it out? I'll make your problem go away, or at least sink it to the bottom of a pile of paperwork. Your old town? The problem? Come and find me when you're settled. This is Second Chance Sunday for you, Sam. Don't blow it. What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard. It was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself. Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th at approximately 9 p.m, according to the coroner, we got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m. They're as thick as thieves, covering for each other. Well, except the male one. You'll see what I mean. Obviously. Anyone who walks in, predicts a murder, then that murder happens? Suspicious. In her bedroom. She was naked. Strangled. No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at. There was one thing, but it's strictly between you and me. Dorota had a gold coin in her mouth. I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this. It's the one thing only the killer would know. Born here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady. Where are you going with this, Sam? What's she told you? She told you she's taking pills, didn't she? Let me handle Violet. She didn't kill anyone. Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating?
The kitten in both hands. Its floppy body barely as big as his palms. He left the towel on the floor. He'd need it to clean up later. He held the kitten against his chest, partly as an apology, partly so he wouldn't.
I assume you've been to see Chief DuPont already? Not really. I'm sure she was a precious lamb, though. She reminds me of me, but without my intellect. Nice, yes, that's a good description. Actually, I thought she was a bit slutty, to be honest. Sorry. I'm gossiping. I don't want to talk ill of the dead. Ask her boyfriend. Oscar, Lives at the vicarage next to the church. Don't tell him I sent you, though. I'm sure he's sick of seeing people already. They're tarot readers. I'm thinking of asking them to leave, actually. Demands already? I'm only thinking of doing it. It's the strangest thing. I honestly don't remember. But I imagine I was here or getting groceries somewhere. I've driven by it, never actually been in it. I take clozapine. I think they're for anxiety. I'm a very anxious person. I don't know, Dr. Sam, you tell me.
I mean, I suppose today you could wear it as a brooch, maybe, or a belt buckle. I'm not sure.
Yeah, why?
Sam, is it? I'm sensing you're not here for a reading. Chief Dupont thinks I did it. I'm hoping you'll convince him otherwise. All I'm asking is that you dig a little deeper than the chief. I had nothing to do with Dorota's death. We saw danger in the cards and we tried to stop it. Trust me, Sam, we're on the same team. We saw it in the cards, not images, feelings, impressions. Tarot can be very powerful. Not these cards. They only tell us what they want us to know. In my room reading, I found a trashy romance novel under the bed. I'm assuming it's Violet's. It's all swooning heroines and brooding vampire Casanovas. Thank God Lexi saved me. She came to my room to chat for a little while. That was around 9, I think. You can ask her. I said the book was trashy. Look at this place. If her guest house is anything to go by, Violet's the opposite of trashy.
Free. Past the bridge, past the nearly empty house, the field of stones.
You must be a new guest. Or you're burglaring us. I'm Rain, by the way. Pleased to meet you, Sam. Enjoy your stay. The hot water goes off at 9, by the way, so it's cold showers from there on in. It really bugs me. I didn't know her. I know she was called Dorota Shaw. She was young, had red hair, a talented musician. No, not at all. You're completely barking up the wrong tree there. Sam, I don't have a motive for killing Dorota. Full stop. I'd have to be possessed to murder anything. Do you believe in possession, Sam? Oh, there's more than just one form of possession, Sam. It's just a blanket term. We did a reading. A group reading, actually. With a special tarot deck. You get it piecemeal. Not everything in one reading. The last one we did showed a young woman being murdered. Young, talented, probably red-headed. Mercury? It's not exactly from here. With a normal tarot deck, you'd have the question, so you'd be the querent. With Mercury, it gives you the question and the answer. The card. It's a special deck.
I don't have it at the moment. Bronwyn has it. I was in my room. Praying, actually. I don't believe in God, but I was still praying. It didn't work. My prayer, that the girl would be safe.
Light at the end, and she was afraid as much as calm. Take my ring.
Hi, Sam, is it? Come on in, make yourself at home. Mi casa es su casa. Come on. I don't know anyone in this town, except for Bronwyn and Rain, obviously, and Violet, and the Chief, and now you. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. Good old-fashioned fortune-telling. Well, kind of. We drew a card each and smushed them all together. Do you know what the most dangerous tarot card is? Everybody thinks that. It's such a cliche. The death card doesn't even mean death. Most of the time. The Five of Swords. I think so anyway. There's nothing more dangerous than someone taking whatever they want no matter the cost. Yeah, I did. Rain got the Knight of Wands, that's Dorota, and Bronwyn got the Ten of Swords, which is, well, you know, swords in general are bad. She's like my big sister, so pretty well. You know the Chief's got it all wrong. Bron could never hurt anyone, but I'm sure a smart detective like you can help prove she's innocent. Really? Because she is completely innocent. The cards told us to. Well, the cards in Rain. Tarot gives us a rough direction and he narrows it down with some astrological jiggery-pokery. He's basically a walking esoteric library. And if that sounds dull, let me reassure you, it is. No? Well, yeah. Well, no. We have a job to do. I didn't say job. I said job. Yeah, it's a tarot thing you won't understand. I was in my room all night with Bronwyn. We were painting our nails. No, I mean, yeah, I've already cleaned it off.
Created the awful curiosity of the audience, fed the other demons, gave them a bigger hope.
Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Oh, like you'd find the bed sheets at night. He was dead. The demon had outgrown his host.
Who knows whether you've made the right decision or not, Claude?
How's Bronwyn been?
Overly nice. She's covering her tracks well if she has anything to hide.
What was it I asked you to do again?
You just told me to report back to you if I noticed anything suspicious. Good grief, Claude, you're a bit young to be losing your marbles already.
What were you doing last night?
Lord, we've been through this. I honestly don't remember. I checked my diary and there's no entry, so I was probably here, as always.
How can you not remember, Violet?
I think it's the pills I'm on. Dosage isn't right.
It's in the field of stones. Unstoppable, relentless.
Chief Dupont, what a pleasant surprise. I think we've covered just about everything twice over, but if you think I'm hiding something...
Who are you really, Bronwyn?
Does it bother you, Chief Dupont, knowing there are things in this world that aren't black and white? You don't know what to file me under, and that makes you uncomfortable. Or perhaps you've already made up your mind about me. Why don't you tell me who you think I am?
You're a con artist.
I haven't asked anyone for a penny.
Tim, I love you.
Good evening, Chief Dupont.
Dorota's family, what does the tarot say about them?
I can do a reading, if you want.
Yes.
It's the Five of Cups. It talks about loss and dealing with that loss. I don't think you need a tarot reader to interpret that one.
Bronwyn never been arrested?
Not since I've met her. She's a lawful good type character, if you play D&D.
Lexi ever been in trouble with the police?
No. Not to my knowledge. She's sweet and innocent. Or haven't you picked up on that yet?
Miss, your wardens have long since forgotten you.
Oh, Chief Inspector, you gave me a shock. What is it? What have I done?
Tell me about Bronwyn.
She's an Aquarius, her favourite colour is green. What else do you need to know?
Is she your leader?
Leader? This isn't a cult. She looks after me and Rain, makes sure we eat healthy and brush our teeth.
Why are you here in August?
Well, it's not for the nightlife, I can tell you that. This is where the cards told us to go. I guess you could call it destiny.
Do you know anyone here? What's wrong?
There isn't any. And sometimes a girl needs a party.
What were you doing last?
Nothing. I mean, I was here all night. This cat's on a... Bron can vouch for me.
Seen, and I think they're very ambitious, and they might be a little over-ambitious.
Find somewhere safe to transition. You're not a superhero.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
Is that you need to start believing in yourself. It's very important that you believe in yourself, and if good things happen to you, then please just embrace them.
What's going on, Violet? Is everything okay?
Yes, I'm okay. No.
What's the matter?
The new detective's acting strangely. I don't feel safe.
You can feel safe. I've already got somebody posted outside the guest house. It's an unmarked car. But you know Danny, don't you? Leyland's kid? Any problems, you let him know. Off you go. I'm being subtle. I don't want to see you back here, okay? You got anything to report, give me a call. Any problems, talk to Danny. Danny, remember?
Danny?
Okay, good. Just look after yourself.
Correct.
I see, but it's small as well, and it has 3 circles attached.
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure. I mean...
You don't trust me, do you, Violet? Is it because I read tarot? Why don't you let me pull a card for you?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Did you
Yes, thank you.
I didn't see you yesterday evening.
Amulet with 3 circles. It was excavated at Brindley Hill.
Mrs. Gallagher, an unexpected pleasure.
How long are you planning to be here?
In town? I really don't know. Until the tarot tells us to leave. Or you kick us out, obviously.
How did you know Dorota was going to die? Why do you think the police are...
Now that's a very good question. Logically speaking, you'd assume all 3 of us were in on it. Or none of us.
Breathing seems so loud when you want to stay hidden. Time oozed like molasses.
Hello, Violet. Is everything okay? Ignore the mess. I was just going to tidy it up.
Did you have a play?
Great, thanks. The room's really lovely.
But you weren't in this room, were you? I didn't see you.
I stayed here. I was playing solitaire with Bronwyn.
Isn't solitaire for one player?
Yeah, I was playing and she was scoring.
Windows and the bag lady floating, as if suspended in currents of unseen water. The bag lady changed form, not just undelusions.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn.
Only they weren't, except for a moment. The head was a monstrous mouth of some deep-sea horror, ringed with row on row of teeth, too impossibly large to fit in the room. And
is there something I can help with, Miss Castle?
I hope we're not being too much trouble.
It's very brave of you to tell the chief that Dorota will be murdered and then stick around afterwards. I'd have run for sure.
You strike me as someone braver than that.
I'm brave, but I'm not stupid.
a cold gaze grasped at my back.
Bron, something doesn't feel right. I don't know what exactly, but it's not right.
Thoughts on Dorota?
Well, it's hard to say with just one victim. Musical talent, red hair. If there's another, there will be a pattern. Do you think it's another right?
A right?
As in the same thing we were chasing after in Birmingham? I suppose it doesn't really matter. Just have to try and stop it.
Stop it? Birmingham?
The Traveller? Dead girls? Ring any bells?
Traveller?
If it follows the same pattern as Birmingham, we're looking at 2 more victims.
I agreed to help the bag lady with its disguise. Yes.
Ron, are you okay?
I'm not okay. I'm okay.
Good. It's not our fault this stuff happens. We're just the messengers.
We've seen a lot of...
Are you asking me or telling me? Yes, we've seen a lot of stuff. You seem weird. Just go and regroup or something, then come back and make me feel better about myself.
They're dead. These things were all alien to it and meaningless. Its present form was an approximate...
Miss Castle, I'm surprised to see you here.
I didn't kill Dorota.
You're a prime suspect, and your alibi is that you were in the guest house with another prime suspect at the time. It doesn't look good for you.
Have you got a problem with me? Surely you've got other...
Not really. Currently it's you and your friends and whoever Sam comes up with. I just don't know what your motive is.
I'm a tarot reader. I'm trying to help.
Yes, you keep saying that, yet you're here when I'm trying to work. So, The entity was blind to the weakness of its present disguise, but had other uses for me. Spidery fingers wrenched open my jaw, fingers with far too many segments.
Hello, I'm Rain. I'm Rain.
Involuntary gags as a worm wriggled around my tongue and throat, coated with mucus, probed. The worm didn't go...
Have you met the new detective yet? We're basically under 24-hour surveillance now.
Do you think Sam's onto us?
Onto what exactly?
The real reason we're here.
Sam's not a mind reader. At least I don't think so. Just try not to let anything slip.
I was free to go, along with the worm, to observe for the bag lady.
Rain, I'm so worried about Bronwyn. What are we going to do?
Why are you worried about...
The chief thinks she killed Dorota.
Maybe she did kill Dorota.
And observed for the bag lady as I went, and relayed my thoughts through the worm. A new life with the bag lady's worm and...
Rain, I'm busy. You gonna turn yourself in?
Yeah. No.
Then you're wasting my time.
These ones, the worm had to be told as people strolled past on the sidewalk. Not this one, the worm had to be told when talking with coworkers in asset management.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Lexi.
But they didn't comprehend the true horror.
Hello, Lexi. What can I do for you?
Please don't ask us to leave.
Well, I don't have one. I literally can't remember what I was doing.
Please don't ask us.
Have you been speaking to Sam? You're safe for the minute.
That sounds ominous.
I can use the money, to be honest.
Said, or somehow both, together.
What's up, Lexi? I'm sensing something's on your mind.
I'm worried about our alibi.
Don't worry about that. We don't have anything to hide. I'm more worried about Ray. Since when did he start praying?
You think he's lying?
I'm worried he blames himself for what happened.
Dorota's murder?
You know what he's like. I'll have to keep an eye on him. You stop worrying though, you little worrier, you.
So I said yes, which is true in a way.
Something's weird, isn't it? Ron seems strange today.
How are you?
Do you think Dorota was planning on marrying Oscar?
What makes you say that?
Well, nothing. It was just something I thought I saw. It doesn't matter.
Like a deep-sea fish dangling its lure. The bag lady appeared and changed forms, and the screams lasted just a moment.
What is it, Miss Taylor?
Why did you hire Sam? Who would want to kill... Dorota's boyfriend seems sweet. Who would want to kill Dorota?
Have you met him?
Yes.
Miss Taylor, is that a contradiction? It's not what you said in your written statement.
Sorry, I meant no.
Yes. Yes, you did.
Why did you hire Sam?
I didn't hire Sam, the Shaw family did.
No, they didn't. Why did you hire Sam?
Tarot cards tell you that. Listen, Sam gets results. Nobody knows how, but the results are got. I want the killer found as quickly as possible. You got a problem with that?
Who would want to kill Dorota?
Are you doing your own investigation? Great! Let me know when you find out.
Bronwyn thinks you've got it in for her.
I go after bad guys. If she's a bad guy, then I've got it in for her.
Why weren't the police protecting Dorota? What were you...
Well, let me see, Detective Taylor. Ask the surveillance cameras. I was here till I got the call.
Are Dorota's family safe?
Why? What are you gonna do?
Nothing, just checking.
I've got my eye on you, Lexi Taylor. Lexi. Rain, are they even your real names?
It's massive, and it's a crazy experience, and some people love it, some people hate it. But what it actually relates to is being out of control. Now, the tightrope itself, what is one of the main things you have to... What else do you need?
Oh yeah, you need to balance. You need the balance.
Do exactly your life. Now, you were exactly spot on, actually, about the sharks being...
Mercury? Sure. I'll just get it. It feels a bit sacrilegious just spreading it out to show you. It doesn't really answer questions, it more asks them. Do you want it to ask you a question, Sam? There's nothing particularly special about it, apart from where it's from, what it does, and how it behaves.
But Marek, what I'd like to say to you is that maybe you worry thing, then you should always be receiving positive things in return. You don't necessarily need to give them all of your time and your emotions. So perhaps, Marek, you need to take a step back, I think, in this case.
Very good. It's 6 o'clock, and you're listening to Radio August. Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw are appealing to the community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe?
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August for updates.
I heard Dorota Shaw was due to play this weekend.
At the Tulip Festival?
Indeed. I understand why they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet. That's 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
With so many dreams. It makes me...
Pains me to think that I was even on the list, but I'm ruled out because we have video footage of me in the station at the time of the murder. Rain says he was praying in his room, alone. Nobody corroborates. Bronwyn and Lexi say they were in the same room last night. Shame they can't agree which one. The tarot readers have mentioned a job. We don't know what. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, and you found out she's taking pills. Perhaps they're related. That's it.
So what we're also dealing with here is the loss of money. What you'll often find with dreams is that the loss of money actually relates to a loss of self-identity. So from this dream and from your explanation of this dream is that perhaps Gab Eve, a relationship perhaps where you feel that others see you as someone else's significant other, your own identity as yourself. Now, for me personally, I believe that every relationship.
It's 6 o'clock, and you're listening to Radio August. Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw are appealing to the community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe.
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August. So
they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet. That's 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Looks like a non-functional wooden bell.
Yeah, but it's heavy, like really heavy.
Okay. Any more news on Oscar Wainwright? Just the tarot readers. No one else is remotely suspicious compared to them. Dorota's an only child. She lived with her mum and dad. Monday night was movie night, so they'd go and watch the 8 o'clock at the Odeon. Dorota would get the house to herself. They're devastated, naturally. They left town to stay with relatives. You didn't do it, Sam. Although, perhaps I should have made them stay. Rain says he was praying in his room, alone. Nobody corroborates. Bronwyn and Lexi say they were in the same room last night. Shame they can't agree which one. The tarot readers mentioned Birmingham. You're looking into it. There's some talk about a traveller, whatever that is. Dorota's boyfriend Oscar is in the clear as far as I'm concerned, but I'm still waiting to hear what he tells you. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. That's it.
Well.
Who are you? Right, because the local police are so rubbish. It's been a day, a whole day. It's typical of them. Yeah, I went round there in the afternoon. Her parents were at work, and we were, you know, hanging out. I left at about 5. Playing football. It was just 5-a-side. Finished at about 9:30. I called her, but she never picked up. Not much. They always seemed happy to see me. I don't think they meant it. They wanted Dorota to focus on her music. Not long, a couple of months maybe. We did care for each other. No? Why? Chief DuPont said there was no signs of anything like that. What, you mean watching us? That's disturbing. No, it couldn't have been. The only place he could have hidden would be in the closet, and I suppose someone could have hidden in the closet. Yeah, it's big enough for 2 people to have sex in. On all fours. Clothes, mainly. I did see something that freaked me out a bit. She had a wedding dress in there. She knew I'd seen it, but we never talked about it. Not even as a joke.
But her head was completely
Yep, that's what he told me too. Not a suspect.
For your consciousness, your wardens have long since forgotten you. Free yourself. When I used the knife, it hurt.
She flaunts herself. Her body. Had boudoir photographs taken. Who do you think those photos were for, Sam? Her mother? Not really, just gossip. Apparently she went to have some portrait photos done and started stripping off. Weston's photographic. Zach Weston. He'll get himself into trouble one of these days. If you keep taking pictures of pretty girls in their underwear, somebody's going to get upset. Zach's the local photographer. You should go and talk to him, Sam. You're good at talking. At Weston's photographic? Off the high road? It's late, but he's always there. I have a good memory. I'm still holding grudges from when I was 4. The vicar's son? No, as far as I can tell, Oscar is a good boy. But we've all got different faces now, haven't we, Sam? Masks we wear. I could be a satanic cultist behind closed doors, but you'd never know. Would you, Sam?
Weak. By late afternoon, she'd taken one of Mother's favorite lemon biscuits.
Yes, he came to see me. He wanted to know that she was okay, spiritually speaking. He confided in me quite a bit, actually. He seemed to appreciate having someone to talk to, and he knew I couldn't tell anyone what he said. You should talk to him yourself. He's a lovely lad. Oh, she gets easily confused. Youth of today. Fine. Jeeve Dupont was breathing down her neck, so we thought it would be simpler if we stuck together. If these walls weren't separating our rooms, then technically it'd be true. To protect Lexi. None of this is her fault, and she gets anxious easily. I was just trying to take the pressure off. I'm sorry, Sam. I never usually lie. Rain's a big boy, he can handle himself. Besides, I'd be highly suspicious if Rain claimed to be doing anything else other than reading on a Monday night. That's pretty much all he does every night.
Cry, baby Pen. Pull yourself together. And just like that.
Sam, what can I do for you? Birmingham. We couldn't save anyone there either. The problem with travellers is... Well, let's put a pin in this one, Sam. Let me ask Bronwyn. If she says it's okay to talk about it, it's okay to talk about it. We're trying to save people. We didn't. Lexi used a Ouija board to get the name. It kinda did. It's hard getting an exact name out of 78 cards, but considering we'd never heard of Dorota Shaw, it painted a pretty good picture otherwise. No. Lexi needs to give it context from the tarot reading. A lot of the time it comes up with nothing. or a sordid comment directed at Lexi. I think that's why she keeps using it, to be honest. Once we thought there was going to be a murder, Lexi used the Ouija board to find out the victim's name. It spelled out Dorota. Just... This is going to sound weird. Most people believe Ouija boards contact the dead. So if Lexi contacts a dead person, that person needs to know what happens in the future. Ergo, maybe the person she's contacting is from the future. A time traveler who died here. You don't believe me? Well, ask Lexi or Bron. They've got their own ideas, but my theory is definitely the more plausible.
It's a perpetual circle.
Hi Sam, back for more already? No, I think Bronwyn met him though. You'd have to ask her, or him. It's not my place to say. I didn't. How did you find out? Am I in trouble? Ron was worried about me not having an alibi. She was logged in doing phone readings, so she's alright. But there's nothing to prove that I was here. I was though, cross my heart and hope to die. Oh, it's just your run-of-the-mill spirit communication device. Want to know how it works? Cool, okay. So Ouija boards send us messages from the spirit world, right? But where is the spirit world? I mean, there's planets and stars in space. The spirit world must be really far away beyond all that. With so far to travel, messages from the spirit world must take ages to get here. Like how light from the sun takes 8 minutes or something to reach us. You still with me? Oh, you're sweet. Where was I? Oh, so here's my point. The spirit world is actually several hours ahead of us. That's how we get messages about things that haven't happened yet. That's how we got Dorota's name. Because in the spirit world, she was already dead. I know, mind-blowing. Traveller, that's a really old role-playing game, isn't it? Oh, did you now? Well then, you know what I know. I guess you must be a part of our inner circle. How does it feel? Cheeky? Are you flirting with me? Oh dear, am I blushing again? There's a murder to solve. Maybe you should do that first, then me. No, not like that.
I have the only one.
Well, I wish I hadn't seen this.
Poe's curiosity shop is now closed.
Your ability isn't endless. It will run out at some point.
I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do?
Here's someone who wants to reach heights that they...
Oscar Wainwright, what a surprise.
ambitious.
Well, I can in fact symbolize a quest for understanding.
Understanding?
And climbing.
Oh, so he is achieving his goals.
So, what I think is happening here, full success, but you don't feel worthy of it. And it could be you're suffering from imposter syndrome, which is actually...
Oscar? What are you doing here?
I want to help.
I know. We've already talked about this. You said you'd get into Bronwyn Castle's room somehow and have a look around.
Why? How?
I don't know. Maybe ask if you can go around. Women like vulnerable men.
Do they?
I don't know. Do I look like vulnerable men? Just do whatever you have to, Oscar. I've got to concentrate on some other leads. So, you can go now?
Hobbled slowly down the street, leaning heavily on his tripod-ended walking stick. He paused to pull his tattered overcoat more tightly around his thin body as the bitter east wind blew. His cap down more firmly, blew on his fingers, then resumed his painful progress.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Lexi.
Halfway down the alley was a patch of deep shadow where the street lamp paused for a moment, then turned into the narrow entrance.
Dorota had a boyfriend.
Oscar, the guy I met this morning? The one I told you about. Yes.
What did he want?
Answers. Reassurance. Forgiveness.
Do you think he killed her?
Not considering what he asked me to do.
Now, there was a good chance one of them would be sleeping it off in some quiet, sacred corner.
I feel sad for Oscar.
Bronwyn said to stay away from him and the family. We're drawing too much attention to ourselves. We won't be able to finish our job.
Job?
Are you wearing a wire? You know why we're here. Don't make me say it.
Say it.
I survived because the beast wasn't ready to relinquish its host. I spent 7 weeks at a mental institution trying to rebuild my life, to find... At first they tried to get me to talk about it. I couldn't tell them what had driven me to breaking point, the fear of discovery, or the endless replays in my head.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
I was very, very lucky. I was... Maybe it's true that the devil looks out.
I changed your sheets last night, and you are...
That door was locked, and you said there's only one key. So how would you know?
Open at midnight. There's no point in trying to fight it, so I have to try and keep as much... Out there, it's a chill night, and there's been rain, so I can keep the hood up on my parka without looking suspicious on the surveillance cameras. I take the in the tube and fewer cameras.
Violet.
The Pentonville Road beckons, and I lose myself in the dingy side streets. It's late, chucking out time in the pubs when the punters headed.
Hi, I'm Bron.